Hey, what's up, La Familia? You crazy football-loving nutters. This is Ray Hudson, and you are luxuriating in listening to the Inter Miami podcast with the stupefyingly magnificent Jay and Alex. Two lads who are as electrifying as a hairdryer thrown into a hot tub. Stay tuned, because you know what it's going to be. It's going to be magisterial with an amplifier.
To the left, Pellegrini, inside, Pizarro Golazo, Here's the goal scorer, Morgan, and he's done it again! Lewis Morgan with his second of the match! Higuain will have the goal! He's framed the top 90! It's a sensational first goal for Gonzalo Higuain!
Welcome back, everyone, to the Inter Miami podcast. It's been a bit of time, my friends, and we're coming in better late than never. As promised, we will be wrapping up season 2 with our second annual Inter Miami podcast awards ceremony. I know Alex hates it when I apologize, but I don't really care what he thinks any day of the week. But we've been traveling, we've been busy, but we want to get back and finish up season 2 and then take, our time to gather all the news to get a nice jump on the preseason. I don't know if anyone besides us enjoys the offseason more than the players. I know my fiance sure does, but we're back. And as always, Mr. Alex Papa George is with me, and we have the one, the only, the unit himself, Mr. Than Harrington, joining us on the podcast as well. Fellas, how are you doing? We will start with Alex and then Than.
Look at Jay, choreographer. Just choreographer by day, podcaster by
Just
night.
choreographing.
What's happening, y'all? It's great to be back on the microphones. We needed a little bit of a rest. These vocal cords, you don't want to burn us out too early. You know what I'm saying? But we're excited to be back. Than, what's happening, bro?
Hey, for what it matters to you, I care what you think. 100% care what you think. I'm just happy
Sunday,
to be back.
Right? Let's go.
Yeah. I'm just happy to be back. It was a minute, but as you said, we needed some time to rest and recuperate from that whirlwind of a season we just had. Now we could look forward to better and brighter days. So, ready to get to it.
Let's hope so. Has the dip actually stopped dipping?
I hope not. This is the
Buy the dip, boys.
I've got chips for the dip, baby. Let's go.
Well, actually, you know what? As we're talking about buying the dip here, you actually, on this microphone, Jay, talked me out of a few $1,000s. I told you we should have bought a plot of land in Decentraland about 3 months ago. You know what that was trading at? Probably 0.7. What's that today? Probably about 3 times that.
Well, then that would be more than a couple thousand, I believe. But I did tell you about that tweet I saw was which one of you degenerates just bid 6 ETH on a virtual yacht, which comes out to about 25,000. So someone's bidding on virtual yachts now. I'm all for the metaverse. I still think we're a little too early to be throwing that kind of cheddar in these different metaverses. But hey, don't get your financial advice from us. Do get your sporting advice because we are experts, I've heard.
That's what they say, right?
That's what I say. But it has been a while. So let's just go ahead before we get into the award show. Let's just talk about the, I say it all the time that it's the MLS and anything can happen in any given week. But let's just give the boys a quick round of applause for going up and taking down the record-setting, trailblazing, Supporter Shield champions, New England Rev, to get our last win of the season, which meant nothing to the Revolution because they were already in the playoffs. But hey, you know what? It's a consolation prize we will take. I know a lot of supporters made the trip up there to Boston, and honestly, looking back on it, it's probably a wicked smart decision because we come out with the win and everyone had a great time up there, I am sure.
Is it fair to say that it's not how you start, it's how you end?
No, it's about how you start, it's about how you play in the middle, and then it's also about how you end.
Well, we missed that whole middle part because we won our first game when we won our last game. But
we think we're playing golf, man. Low score wins. Low point total wins, I guess, rather.
Yeah, not too good.
Not too good. But there has been some offseason news. we're not going to cover that right now. So sorry.
We're going to keep it happy. Yeah,
we're just going to keep it happy. Take some time to enjoy and reflect on the brighter moments of last season. But we do promise to be back with an action-packed episode of all the relevant off-season, preseason news as it accumulates. Still early, but December is historically a very busy month in the MLS, and we will track all of that and give you some quality content.
We're hoping so, Jay. And Jay, I just speak for everyone here that's a fan of the Inter Miami podcast, but we can't wait to hear your player rumors that are swirling around this summer.
It's Messi, it's Cristiano Ronaldo, it's Mbappe, it's Erling Haaland. They're all coming at the same time.
Is Wesley Sneijder going to be appearing?
Wesley Sneijder?
Some transfer rumor mills here. The Wesley Sneijder.
Yeah, it blew my mind that he's still playing. You know, I was open to taking a 39-year-old Rubinho or however old he is. I don't know if he's that old, but
I mean, if he's still playing, Nasseri's still playing. It looks like he spent too much time at the buffet, and it looks like a rhino running around in the field.
Nasseri,
like put me in a small kit.
Nasseri got that
small kit.
He got that endorsement deal from Golden Corral, man. He's getting all the buffets. He's thick. That boy thick out there running around.
Triple C.
That dude should not be wearing a skin tight shirt in any setting that he goes out to. But who am I to shame a multimillionaire who ruined his career in Miami with the drip doctor? But we're not going to get into that. Anyway, well, here's the good news. We do have someone who comes from a high-class pedigree who joined the team. And I'm talking about the coach's son, Mr. Harvey Neville, which I think was a poor decision to announce 10 cuts and then add Harvey Neville. It seems very nepotistic to me. I think they should have waited maybe until January or the end when they're like, oh, well, we're just trying to fill out our roster. So we gave Harvey a shot. Not we're going to drop our whole team and he's the first signing. Don't mind the owner's son, Romeo, who's running around Fort Lauderdale CF causing havoc. But damn it, I did it, didn't I? I started getting into the news, didn't I?
No, it's fine. Go for it.
We're going to leave it at that. I promise we'll cover all of that, but we want to have a little bit of fun. For our listeners that are devout followers of our just self-proclaimed cult, this is the second annual show, man. If you were here for the last year, then, it's kind of, sit back, enjoy, have a good time, make some jokes, laugh about it, and reflect on the good times. So.
Absolutely. We call these the good times because they're the good times, right?
Can't lose if you don't play.
Exactly. But no, as Jay said, this is our second annual Inter Miami podcast award show. Super pumped to bring everybody the awards today. We have 5 certain categories and awards that will be handed out today. Numero uno is the newcomer of the year. The second will be goal of the year, followed by the third award, which is offensive MVP. Followed by the fourth award, which is defensive MVP. Shocker, right? And then fifth and last but not least, the team MVP. So those are the 5 awards that we have to hand out. And actually, Jay, as I'm bopping around MLS.com, there was another award that all the fans were hoping Inter Miami was going to get this year, and that's yellow cards. Do you know how we fell in the yellow card calculation for the year?
Regular season? Because we didn't have the chance for the postseason extensions.
Regular season award.
Oh, gosh. The way your voice is, I'm going to say we probably fell to like 4th or 5th.
Worse.
Oh.
We tied.
For what?
Tied for first.
Well, that's good. No, that's the one metric we lead in, so I'm okay with that. LGP, shout out to you. You're the real MVP.
Yeah, shout out LGP. Shout out Gregory. I don't know, Than, is a tie better or worse than an L?
Well, who did we tie with?
We tied with San Jose, sir.
Yeah, I'll take the win. It's a win in my book. We won something.
It's a win.
Towards the end of the season, when between my tears, I was cheering for every yellow card, knowing that was the one thing we could capture. So, yeah, I think it's a win. I think we run with it.
Even the funny awards are still awards, so we have something that we can claim on.
Well, those are important, right? Because those are the things that keep us coming back, right? Because if it was the performance on the pitch, I don't know if we would be back here.
Well, yeah,
I mean, I live for the award show. I watch the games, but I know at the end of the year it's all about the award show. So that's all I really care about.
Everybody,
award show or die.
Everyone listens to this for the annual award show. We had over 200 votes casted. That is by you. That is by the people who listen to this podcast, who follow the show each and every week. These are all of your votes. Jay tried to change one of them. I didn't let him. So we can say that this was all sacred done.
I don't even know if that's a saying, but okay. We'll give you that. Sacred done?
Sacred done.
I just have flashbacks to the time I called you out on Swimmingly, and then I heard it used like 5 times since, and I'm just like, every time, like, damn it, that guy was right that one time on that weird word I've never used in a sentence before. But yeah, so I guess without further ado, and then we can have a little, sweet moment of sentiment between just the boys about our favorite moments from last year towards the end of this. But let's just go ahead and get right into it with a very highly coveted award for the organization. And we're talking about the newcomer of the year. And the choices were Kieran Gibbs, Nick Marsman, Indiana Vasilev, and Gregory. Let me get this envelope. And the winner is, for the 2021 Newcomer of the Year, Mr. Gregory. You don't have to clap. I have the soundboard working, Alex, but I do appreciate
It's the enthusiasm.
Yeah. So congrats, Gregory. We're going to be shipping you your award because, we know your address. We know where you live. You can't hide from us, buddy boy. But congrats. Hell of a season. Probably really the bright spot of the season, I would say, would be Gregory. Of all the people that were cut from the team, of course, you were not. You are awesome. You are perfect. You're a Brazilian stud, and we love you for it every single day. Congrats, Gregory. We look forward to your promising future with Inter Miami.
All great additions to the club, but I think this was without a doubt the pick. And I'm glad everyone saw it that way. Gregory brought a certain type of attitude, swag as some people used to call it, to the pitch. And it felt great to have him wearing our uniform each and every day. And, like we know, through the season progressed, he was actually the one who is really kind of our official captain, El Capitan out there on the pitch. And he absolutely deserved it. Can't wait to see this guy run it back.
Yeah, I mean, he had the pit bull mentality that we needed for a long time last season. If somebody goes down, he's standing right over top like Roy Keane barking in his face. It's what we need to help, start a culture of, hey, we're not going to be pushed around. We've had a couple rough seasons, but we're going to definitely bounce back and build off of it. So, congrats to him. And I can't wait to see what you guys send to him. I'm kind of confused as to what the award's going to be.
Yeah, so it's a slightly used undershirt that I'm retiring after this year of work.
It's an NFT.
It's an NFT. We're sending him an NFT of the Inter Miami podcast logo.
Is it a meta dinghy instead? Like maybe like a $5,000 dinghy he can purchase?
I'm going to give him a square mile in my metaverse that I'm creating for him to do whatever he wants with.
What would you do with that square mile there, Jay? God, don't even
answer
that question. I don't even want to hear the answer to that.
I'd pay Paradise and put up a parking lot.
So you've seen OnlyFans, right? We're gonna call it OnlyFans, and we have our
Joke's
star
on
attraction.
You. I already started it. Sorry, guys. For serious, DM me for any requests.
Next year, find us on Pornhub.
We were pushing for Brazzers to be the sponsors for a while there. Or was it Bang Bus, one of the two? It's a family show. We're sorry.
We definitely have the plug for Bang Bus.
Whatever, mom or dads, they just turn this down real quick in the car.
Well,
Mommy, what's Bang Bus?
Our real-time company doesn't do a very good background check.
No, they don't. Otherwise, well, I'm not going to get into that.
Yeah, who knows?
Let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving with the good news. What is the next award we will be dishing out?
Yes,
Alejandro?
sir. That is the goal of the year, and that is the goal of the year. But no, there were three
fascinating.
3 nominations for this award. And this is an important one. I mean, this is really when you get the fans to stand up and, just go crazy and go ballistic. And fortunately, there were a couple of these goals done in our home arena this year, which is always super exciting. So number 1, the first nominee is Christian Macoun's penalty kick against Toronto. As we know, the little T-Rex, do it with me.
Was that a T-Rex roar that you
Are
just
you
attempted?
okay?
Yeah, right?
Actually, you're right. That was terrible.
You're supposed
I think
to
that was
breathe out, not breathe in. It sounded like you were
It sounded like you were going to
doing
do
the international choke sign.
It sounded like you were going to do the Chewbacca, and then you just stopped breathing.
It was a rough weekend down here in Basel, boys. That's all I can say.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Number 2, I'm going to avoid any more animal noises during the rest of the show. But number 2 is Pizarro's goal against the Chicago Fire. So that is the number 2 nominee. And last but not least, gotta get that right, is Indiana's goal versus Nashville. Can I have the the envelope, sir? And you decided that Indiana's last-minute goal versus Nashville is the winner.
That was an excellent goal. That was actually my favorite goal of the season. I did slightly damage my Tom Ford sunglasses that I a month later lost in the airport running to catch my flight, but hell of a goal. We were there. I jumped into your arms like a sweet embrace in the movie Titanic. It was lovely. Although close second, this was pretty close, was the Macoun free kick, because they like that little hop, skip, and a kick, very similar to Than's favorite Portuguese player, Mr. Bruno Fernandes.
Bruno Fernandes.
But not to discredit Pizarro's goal versus Chicago. If I'm not mistaken, that's the one where Ulloa got the ball and just quick pass, and he one-timed it, and that was a very beautiful goal as well. But congrats to Indiana. We'll see if we can get this man on the team for next year. It's in doubt. It's in limbo. We won't know for a little bit.
This was an absolute massive goal, not just with the score being what it was, but actually with seconds remaining on the clock. This was one of those goals that you'll remember forever. Jay and I were moving around the stadium like we typically do, trying to find the best view that we can possibly snag, and we ended up finding ourselves right next to the goal for this actual goal, and it was a beautiful moment.
Well, and not only that, but Indy was also forced to be marked. It announced himself to the MLS like, hey, you can't just let this kid run.
True.
And, it helped open up a lot of our problems in the midfield and really spark some creative play amongst the team. So not just in the standings, but amongst the team too. It really unlocked a lot for him.
It was really that game that put Indiana on all Inter Miami fan maps, right? And I think when you watch that game, the thing that stands out to you through the time that he entered the game till the time that it was over was just pure effort. That was the game that I looked at him and said, damn, we've been starving for someone like this. We need someone out there that is going to fill those holes, that's going to fly at, the 11th degree possible to match really people like Gregory out there who give it their all. So, we'll see what we can do with his contract. I believe that is still up in the air a little bit. Jay, you're pointing like you got something.
They haven't renewed anything yet. So he said he wants to talk to Super Frank. That'd be Frank Lampard. Shout out Chelsea. He is now the coach of Aston Villa. So he wants to talk to him before making any decisions. We'll see what happens.
Do you mean Steven Gerrard, the Liverpool Slippy G legend?
Super Frankie. Don't disrespect. But that was a very important goal because that was their second loss of the season, I think. Because they only one loss up to then, I believe. Or maybe it was the first. It seems like ages ago. But, yeah, I mean, they're a team that either wins or draws. So that was great. But it was also our rivals,
as I'm thinking
Expansion
about
Brothers.
This, it might have been their first loss in an away match.
That might be it. Either way, it was significant. They're a tough team to beat. That was a game we really needed to win. And that was just a really great moment for all who were in attendance and all who were watching. But let's keep it moving on to the next award, which would be the offensive MVP. Than, run us through the nominees.
All right. The nominees are Robbie Robinson, Federico Higuain, Gonzalo Higuain, and Lewis Morgan. And your winner is
Yeah, you got the envelope we just sent through.
We mailed to him a week ago.
yeah,
Yeah, okay.
the email envelope. I got that one right.
Just making sure that was the right one.
Prints out.
So no shock here. Gonzalo Higuain. You can't look past the fact that he scored 12 goals and had 9 assists on the season. Is what it is.
I know, Than, you said you can't hear the soundboard. It's probably better you can't hear the soundboard because my fat fingers just hit the wrong one, but it's all right. We corrected it.
This is why I should be doing the soundboard.
No, this is exactly why you should not be doing the soundboard. But shout out, congrats to Gonzalo Higuain. Tough season considering, what both Gonzalo and Federico had to go through with their mother, Nancy, at the beginning of the season. I think the club really came around to show support, and I think that a fire was lit in that man's devilish eyes that he wanted to really perform this season. And giving the results from the previous season, I would say this was a hell of a season from him.
I'd say so too, sir. I mean, I'm looking at the stats right now. He's absolutely our team MVP, or I'm sorry, the offensive team MVP. He's got 8 assists, 12 goals on the season. He leads our team in both categories, so I think this is relatively a no-brainer. And, yeah, I think the fans got it right.
Yeah, I mean, the closest one in goal scoring was Robbie Robinson with 4. So, again, it was really a no-brainer. Now, I will say that Gonzalo lifted 58 shots towards net and had 35 on target. So it definitely could have been more, but it just, wasn't his season in terms of scoring more. And, with everything he had to go through, plus, constantly throwing his arms up on the pitch, maybe he was a little bit tired. I don't know. But regardless, congrats, Gonzalo. I won't be sending you much. Maybe Jay and Alex will be, but I appreciate you.
We will. We'll figure out a way to make this work. And again, congrats, Gonzalo. Hell of a season. I think people were probably hesitant to vote for Robbie after he just tripped over his own feet after being one-on-one with the keeper. So that people might hold a little resentment in there or something. But let's flip it over to the other side of the ball, if you will, and let's run through the defensive MVP. And for this award, the criteria was you had to be in a defensive-based role. Makes sense. It's in the title, but we're also gonna, we're gonna show love, not just the back line, but some CDM love as well. We got Mr. Nico Fagal. We have the yellow card bandit himself, Leandro Gonzalez Perez. We have our boy Christian Macoun, the T-Rex, probably the greatest goalkeeper signing of the season. Also dates the old Miss Amsterdam. We're talking about Nick Mars, man. That man lives a good, full life. Shout out to Nicky. And then, of course, our boy Gregory, who has already won an award. But we're going to get this thing popping. I got to get the right envelope. Oh, he's coming home with 2. We've got Mr. Gregory winning defensive MVP. Hell of a season, best acquisition, no lie about it. Look forward to the future. Also very happy because I am partial to Brazilians. If you listen to any of these episodes, you're probably aware of that, and he's already lighting the fire for us to acquire several more. So big things in store for Mr. Gregor. We've touched on it. Absolute stud out there. Brings the energy, brings the attitude. Was named captain like a third of the way through the season. Neville basically booted out the other 4 and said, "This is our guy." And I really was just so impressed. He was really the bright spot on the team in a struggling midfield in season 1. He really was able to kind of sew it together and get this thing in some sort of cohesive fashion. So shout out Gregory, and boys, anything you want to add?
Yeah, I mean, it's all been said. Gregory, a hell of an addition. Defensive MVP, congratulations on that. Our defensive line was definitely our strength because it certainly wasn't our offensive foot. It was definitely our defensive side of the ball. So, yeah, I mean, you could have gone with any one of these options. And, I mean, shout out Nick Marsman, too. He's not necessarily out there playing, center back defense or, things like that at goal. But, damn, we are definitely better in goal at the end of the year than in the beginning of the year. We would have had John McCarthy playing in between these damn posts all year. That would have been scary. We saw what happened when he got thrown back out to the Wolves. It's not going to happen. Not going to happen. So pump that Nick's going to be on our club for the foreseeable future.
Yeah. So the beautiful part about this is I don't want to get into the news, but that situation won't be able to happen because John McCarthy is no longer with the club. But again, we're not going to cover any news. I'm not going to tell you that like Castanera is also out. We're not going to get into that. I'm just going to let you know. Shout out Nick Marsman, hell of a season. But shout out Gregory for winning the award.
Yeah, I mean, Gregory, he deserved it. He was what kept our midfield running. He was the engine. We hit on it. We've talked about it. We don't need to keep going over it. I would also say my second choice would have been Marsman as well. Night and day difference. He kept us in a lot of games. So, shout out to both of those guys. They made a difference in our season for sure.
Absolutely. Well, shout out Gregory, shout out Marsman, Marcoon, LGP, Nico, everyone.
Shout out Chris Henderson too.
Shout out Chris Henderson just because we want to say shout out Chris Henderson. Like, I mean, shit, like he's got the keys to the castle right now. So shout out Chris Henderson.
Is it a castle? He's got the keys to the cottage.
I mean, shit. Like, I mean, better turn this thing into a castle. Yeah, exactly. Like a shanty, right? So, with that, my friends, my family, it brings us to our final award of the 2021 Inter Miami Podcast Award Show. Boy, that's a mouthful. But we are here with the overall team MVP. And Jay, the envelope, please. Or let me read out these nominations first.
Whatever you want. It doesn't matter. I mean, you can hold the envelope and then read or read first.
Let me just take the envelope. The winner is...
Well, why don't you go through the nominees before you announce the winner? That's how this works.
La Familia!
Oh, I see what you did there.
No, I guess we have to give it to a player, but that's a shout out for all the fans out there supporting this team. Y'all the real MVP. You, each and every one of your ears, I guess 2 ears per head, bodies, you name it. You're the real MVPs out there. You keep us coming back. You keep this team going. You keep this team moving, and we appreciate each and every one of you. So do take this award. This is everyone's. You now have a small, very small plot of land in Jay's Decentraland world. Congratulations. But to bring it back to the show, there is an award to be handed out. Team MVP, the nominees are Lewis Morgan, Nick Marsman, Gregory, and then Gonzalo Higuain. And again, the fans voted. We had nothing to do with this, but the fans voted, and this year's team MVP is no other than Gonzalo Higuain.
Congrats again, Gonzalo. No mystery here, guys. I mean, leading scorer, basically our main point of attack or anything in that category. Interesting note here is last year we did these actually before the team got around to doing their own one, and we gave Lewis Morgan the award. The team also awarded Lewis Morgan the award. This time, though, due to the travel and the delay, we're not going to speak about that too much, though. We were a little behind schedule. We did allow our fans to pick, and they picked Gonzalo. However, the club themselves did announce that the team MVP was Gregory. So shout out, little consolation prize to Gregory. He doesn't need 3 Inter Miami Podcast Awards. He can be happy with 2, and so can Gonzalo Higuain. Hell of a season. Looks like we're going to get one more from you, buddy. So let's go out with a bang, make it beautiful, something you can be proud of, and as always, in honor of your mother.
Yes, let's just hope he leaves the cigarettes at home. Make sure those lungs are fresh, ready to go, and we'll kick some ass next year.
Hopefully.
I mean, honestly, I'd actually like to see him try with the cigarettes. I mean, it might give him a little more boost in the field. But, jokes aside, it's no secret to anybody who listens to the pod. I've been pretty rough on Gonzalo. I was not a huge fan of how he conducted himself, but he was the catalyst in the team up front. Especially when Pizarro fell off the face of the earth, Lewis couldn't get open. He kept us going up front. And, he definitely deserves it. MVP, he deserves it. And hopefully we can get some more from him, and he can ride off into the sunset with a cigarette in his mouth and just have a grand old time.
It's a good visual.
You called it at the beginning. Last year, you were calling him a super spreader.
Don't bring that back in here. I mean, look, good thing Gonzalo isn't a member of the Facebook fan group, because there's been some hardships with that. But hey, can't argue the goals or lack thereof any other serious attacking players on our team right now. Probably because we're forcing Lewis Morgan to play in a wing back position instead of on the wings. But hey, hell of a season, and we have, a really interesting future ahead of us because we're about to get a complete overhaul. So let's see where we end up. But before we get off here, because that's basically all the awards we have, unless you want to just start making things up, which I'm not necessarily opposed to. But what was your guys', I guess, favorite moment of the season? Best goal, best game, best environment, best sentiment, whatever it may be? Because I know you can't come to all the games, but what were your guys', I guess, favorite instances this season?
So I'll be biased. I have two. The Philly Union comeback, because I was there with my son for his second ever game, and we were screaming in the stands. I was throwing them up in the air, and we were getting booed and yelled at by some of the Union fans. But it was a great comeback to be at. And then of course the Columbus Crew game, my first ever game down at the Drive Pink Stadium. Had a grand old time with it. Saw a really terrible goal and an overall great game. It can't really beat it. The atmosphere was fantastic. We were bouncing around, dancing for 90 plus minutes. And, I don't think there's a stadium that has a better atmosphere than ours when we have the team have the full support of La Familia. I'll go on record to say it. We're the best at what we do.
All right. Heard it here first.
Couldn't agree more. What was my as cliche as it may be, I think it's exactly the moment that the fans picked. I think it was Indiana's goal. I mean, that moment at the stadium, if you were there, you know what I'm talking about. And it was an absolute surreal feeling. I would even group year 1 and 2 combined and say that was my moment of the entire franchise to date. So, I would go ahead and say that goal. It's been a hell of a season. You can pick out tons of moments, right? There's loads of them, right? And can't go wrong in any of them. But that's what makes us a fan, and that's what makes us coming back.
Very good answers, boy. I like them both. Guys.
Jay, we can't leave you out though. You got to tell us. Besides, all the liquor you drank out in the parking lot. What was your number one?
Oh, my number one was just leaving the stadium. Didn't want to go home yet, and we decided to go maybe play a little bit of pool at Miss Q's. Pull in there, and it turns out to be 200 crazies from Vice City, from Southern Legion, from the Siege, from La Familia, just raging hardcore in a Florida pool hall with none other than himself, DJ Bullfrog. Probably my most surprising, wow moment of the season. Obviously, at basically, I think every single game except for maybe one when I was traveling. So a lot of great moments, but that one definitely had me smiling, had me laughing. Solid season? I don't know. Could have better results. It was a fun season for sure. It was a roller
coaster of a season, man. There was a point that we're in 5th in the East. Then we're just spiraling out of control. Yeah. There was a lot of roller coasters.
It definitely was. We had some winning streaks. We had more losing streaks. Thoroughly did enjoy the time spent with La Familia. Still in the stadium after the games. Win or loss, we're banging, we're chanting, we're dancing, we're popping smoke till it burns your eyeballs. Just overall, good time. Look forward to the future. Hopefully we can get on the winning side and back into the playoffs.
And before we wrap up, boys, quick question. We do have the MLS Cup this coming weekend. It is Portland and NYCFC. What you got? What's the final score? Who's winning?
I'm never going to go for anybody that wears city blue. I would rather step on a Lego. I'd rather walk over hot coals.
He's not a dad. He doesn't get that joke.
I would rather do a million other things. Portland, 3-1 right now, all day long.
Okay. Oh, buddy. So I was on Football Miami TV last night with Ed and Uncle Ed and Peter Brown. Just had me on as a guest, and we were talking about this. And this is a tough game because these are two teams it's very hard to bet against. They're both very talented, and they could beat you at any given time. But I'm going to have to stick to my guns here. And this hurts me because I am a closet Portland fan. I love the stadium, love the enthusiasm, love Timber Joe, love everything about it. And I think that's the idyllic MLS club that everyone should try to emulate. However, I cannot bet against my bootleg Cristiano Ronaldo and Tati Castellano because the way he looks, I'm comfortable. I'm engaged with a child. I'm comfortable with my sexuality. That's a pretty good looking man. He's got some swaggy hair and he can score some goals with his feet and with his head. I think this is just their year. They're on a streak right now. It seems like they really want this. So I'm going to go with NYCFC, but I'm going 3-2, but I'll take it a step further. I think we're going 2-2. I think we're going to go to extra time. And then I think NYCFC is going to get one in added time.
Tati going to be the one to put it through?
It will. So it depends if he plays. But if he does play, I think kind of it's a little up in the air right now, but leaning more towards expected to play. I think he's going to get one of them. I don't know if he's going to get the final one, but I definitely think he will get one of them.
I mean, he's like Cristiano Ronaldo if you get him from Wish.com.
Yeah.
Don't ever compare him
Yes.
to the great again.
Yes.
Don't do that again.
Yeah, he's the Wish Cristiano Ronaldo with a David Beckham little cross and wings tattoo on his neck. He's like what I make in my FIFA Pro Clubs build a character. You know, just like combine Cristiano and David Beckham into one.
And shoot it from 50 yards out. Anyways, Alex.
Oh, God. If you haven't played FIFA with Jay, you don't know what we're talking about here. But
Shoot. What you got, bud?
All right. I guess that brings me to my turn. And I do want to gloat a little bit. I do want to say this. But your boy over here did call NYCFC making it to the finals about 3 months ago. I haven't forgotten.
Okay, 3 months is bold.
3 months.
3 months is bold, bro.
Let me tell you something. The best part about doing this podcast.
Did you listen to old episodes just to?
Yeah, you're damn right. I have the alibi. I know it. But no, I'm
gonna every episode next season. I'm just gonna at the end of every episode, I'm gonna be like, "We're all Salt Lake wins the championship." Just at the end of every episode, so I can always fall back on it.
No, what you should do is you should at the end of every episode name a different team to win it, so you can just fall back on that episode at the end.
That's what I'm saying. Like every episode, I'm gonna do a different team, so I can always say I called it last year.
There you go. Well,
covering your bases.
Well, guess what? I did. 3 months ago, your boys said NYCFC is a team to be reckoned with. They started out slow. They are coming back. This team is dynamic. I mean, Tati, Golden Boot winner. He's going to put one in the back of the net in the finals without a doubt. Medina is a stud. This club is winning the championship. So you heard it here, 3-1. NYCFC beats Portland in the finals this weekend.
So we got 2 3-1s on opposite sides, and then I'm 3-2 with a goal at a time. Okay, so
one guy who's right and 2 guys who are wrong.
Well, there's a solid chance we are all wrong on the scoreline. There's a solid
Portland's
chance.
winning the whole thing.
All right,
Sorry.
all right, fair enough. The game is Saturday, December 11th. That's this Saturday. This episode, what is today? Monday. It's been a long weekend. This episode's coming out on Tuesday. If you're listening to this, it's Tuesday. So the game's this weekend, Saturday, 12/11, 3 p.m. on ABC. We're getting that prime time. No more FS1. We're going not even ESPN News or 2. We're going straight to ABC. Let's go MLS. That'll be a fun game. I'm sure there are going to be various watch parties with each of the supporters groups respectively. So do go out, be social. Meet La Familia, man. Have some fun. You know, it's a good game because whoever wins, it's not like it really affects us. It's not like Inter Miami loses and we're all sad. So just enjoy it. And then we're going to have an action-packed December. We will be back on the mics with all the relevant news we need to cover. I've already got some player rumors written down. It's going to be fun. Yeah, I don't really have. Do you guys want to say anything else?
I got nothing to say. I just want to say thank you. Just thank you to everyone who supports this show, you know, each and every episode, each and every year. Wrapping up year 2, I cannot believe it. The only reason why we keep coming back is because of each and every one of you. So we definitely appreciate all the support that you offer. And yeah, looking forward to this offseason. Like we've been saying each and every week, in Chris we trust. Let's see what Chris Henderson can do for us this offseason. Than, what about you, man?
I mean, you know, you already said it. I can't believe year 2 is over. It's my first full year with you guys, and you know, presenting the MLS team I love. I do want to give a special shout out to our Discord group. It's a crazy, rowdy bunch of guys. You know, it's not just MLS. We talk EPL, college football, NFL, anything that's going on. You know, it kind of makes the day a little bit brighter some days. You know, it's a good group of people to be a part of. A great part of La Familia, and you know, it's just one way we're ever evolving here at the Inter Miami podcast, looking at different avenues to bring the best content to you guys. So, again, just thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you to everyone. Thank you to La Familia. Since it is the last episode, technically, of season 2, I just do want to shout out all of our listeners in all the countries. We have several. So shout out to all of our listeners in the United States, everyone in the United Kingdom, all of the 4 sub-countries of the United Kingdom: Canada, Australia, Germany, Netherlands, Mexico, Ireland, Sweden, Switzerland, Norway, Brazil, Japan, South Korea, Finland, Puerto Rico, Argentina, Colombia, Vietnam, not going to do that accent, Israel, Spain, Portugal, France, Peru, Denmark, Italy, Russia, Bahamas, El Salvador, Ukraine, Nicaragua, Romania, Ecuador, Singapore, Dominican Republic, Ghana, Poland, India, Belgium, Chile, Belize, Oman. Not even 100% sure where that is, but shout out Oman. Turks and Caicos, Guatemala, Greece, Taiwan, Saudi Arabia, Croatia, Panama, New Zealand, Hong Kong, United Arab Emirates, Nigeria, Guyana, Namibia, St. Lucia, and the Czech Republic. Thank you, everyone, for listening, for showing your support. As Alex said, it's all because of you and the love we get. We look forward to season 3 with La Familia. It's going to be an amazing time. But thank you so much. 2 seasons in the books. What a ride. What a ride. I don't really have anything else to say as we end every single episode. Vamos, Miami.
Vamos, Miami. Thank you, everyone. Appreciate it. Be back with you soon.
Vamos, Miami. Thank you, everybody. We appreciate it.
Let's enjoy this long outro rather.